So here we are in Pucon. We've got some waterfall action and a day ride, and let's tell you all about it. Crossing over the Andes in northern Patagonia made for some really variable riding, really nice. Going from the dry easterly side of the range, which is the Argentinian side, back over the border to Chile and Pucon on the east side, it kind of tale of two climates, really. The terrain was distinctly drier and much more rocky on this side, and I kind of like that actually. Another beautiful ride though, empty roads, great scenery, and some interesting bridges, which were kind of cool, but overall it just kind of felt very familiar, very much like my beloved northern Oregon. And in case you don't know, I like it up there. The US Pacific Northwest, the border area between northern Oregon and southern Washington, it's a pretty special place too, I've got to say. I mean, over the past 20 years or so, I've spent a lot of time in the Hood River. I just love that place. The mountains and the lakes. It's kind of just like this. Great biking and kiting. Mount Hood. Oh, awesome. Maybe you can see a little bit of a pattern here. Could be I'm in risk of becoming a volcano junkie at this rate. But right here in Patagonia, in the central Andes, I was set for a big fix. But the adventure really started coming out of San Martin de los Andes and down into Pucon, where we ran into, on the Argentinian side, the Lanin volcano. What a place. I can't say we planned it this way, but the Lanin, or the Villares volcano as it's known in Chile, was set to dominate the landscape around us and capture every piece of the camera lens for several days. And due to the plate tectonics in this region, and yes, I know, I kind of geeked out on that in episode 3. Yeah, I admit it. But hey, it's rocks and mountains, and what can I say? But the geology here makes central Patagonia one of the most volcanically active places on the planet. And our initial view of this monster volcano started out as a kind of distant, indescribable peak maybe. But as we drove along yet another empty, smooth tarmac road, I just couldn't take my eyes off it. Like Mount Doom waiting for the ring bearer, it just seemed to be calling us to it. And as we got close, we just had to pull over and grab a classic Special Coffee Boys drive-by shot. Every Moto vlogger needs one of these, does one of these, and ours was worth getting off and setting up for, because look at that scenery, beautiful, eh? But the volcano just kept getting bigger. The road went on and we got closer, and pretty soon we were back on gravel and blasting our way. Looked like we were going to drive over the darn thing. And as the gravel road got a little bit more gnarly, it was a toss-up between looking for the potholes and wondering just how close to this thing we were going to get. Maybe we're going to ride over the top of it. Well, maybe not over the top, but we were going to get pretty close for sure. And if you've watched episode 5, the interlude, the first part of the Special Coffee story, you'll see just how close you can get to a live volcano and still get a delicious cup of special coffee. But refreshed from the hearty brew, it was down out of the mountains, over our last border crossing, was to be our very last actually, crossing into Chile, and on to Pucon for the rest of the stay. And set around a neat little town square, Pucon is literally at the foot of the volcano. And remember, a smoking volcano is a live volcano. Live, up close and personal, literally smashing us up against the town, up against the lake, and all the people that have come here to enjoy that lake. But the streets didn't let you forget where you were. You got a tsunami warning sign on one side and a volcano warning sign on the other. Now, that's kind of cool, know where you got to go, but what happens if one causes the other? Which way are you going to run then? It was kind of fun. But don't for a second let that put you off this place. Chileans have learnt to live with volcanoes, and this place told us why. Because it was a rocking little vacation town. Busy, high season, proper Latin nightlife. Everyone was out late. Street performers, packed restaurants, happy people. Just a really cool spot. And not just nightlife, but a perfect place to explore the surrounding mountains too. So a day out in summer in the mountains in Chile, for me, has to involve some water. And we found an absolutely beautiful waterfall. And set out in the hills to the northwest of the town, we took an early ride out to Tres Saltos, a remote waterfall on private land about 40 minutes out of town. It was a nice country ride out there, back on the bikes, even on our day off, but no luggage. Oh, that's a big deal, no luggage. Lovely cool morning, so pretty peachy riding, really. Now, in Spanish, Tres Saltos literally means 3 jumps or 3 falls, and the lower falls turned out to be the largest. Being up early is a super big bonus here because most people don't seem to get going before 11, so we got in early and had the place to ourselves for a while. The upper falls did require a little hiking though. Whew. Well, it's definitely a climb up, always is. You can't get to a waterfall without finding some altitude, right? So, plow on. But the upper falls were well worth the climb. Not epic in size, but huge on solitude and quiet and beauty, and a little bike-induced ringing in the ears maybe, but it just made the place feel sort of magical or sort of strange, you know, just unusual. And you know what? The very best thing about Chile for me is it's a big country, really small, friendly population, so you can always find somewhere to yourself. Sometimes to get to the waterfall, you've got to get underwater a little bit, but that's okay because that sometimes can have its advantages. I think I'm going to try and come around the edge of the rock on that side and down to the pool that way. It's waterproof camera. I hope it's waterproof because we're going to find out. You can make it. Swim it over. Come on, buddy. Hold on. Whew. Well, that's one way to cool off, I guess. One thing's for sure. Looks like the camera's waterproof, if nothing else. So it has to be said, we loved Chiloé Island. Maybe we liked Pucon just as much. What a fantastic spot it was. Waterfall action, some great day riding, fantastic hotel. Again, as everything has to come to an end, and it was up to the Santiago area, hopefully to spend some time with our friend Carlos at a beautiful little town called Pichidangui. I'm not going to tell you about that. We'll catch that, save that for the very last and final edition. So as we always say, like, subscribe, share, do all that good YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one.